Hey guys, gals, and MBs. I'm here today with the DIG version 2. I did a video back when the DIG version 2 first came out, and I did a video with the DIG version 1 at one point in time. I'm redoing another video on it because I think it is one of the best 80s sounding delays. I think it's one of the best sounding delays, period, even regardless of era. But if you want to do synth wavy stuff and things with the Teo-5 or like some nice just dark sounding digital, I mean, it can do bright sounding things too. It's just such a versatile delay. So when I decided I was not going to do hardware stuff anymore, I ended up selling almost all of my gear except for like 2 pieces of gear. The DIG was one of them that I sold, and I regretted it. So here it is again. That just speaks to how much I actually like this damn pedal. It is the best sounding ping pong delay that I can think of, be it in a big box or in anything really. I think it matches quite a bit of like plugins out there. So it is, well, they even have a DIG plugin, which is based on the version 1, I think. But the version 1 and version 2 sound very similar. The biggest pluses here is you get a tone control on the front of it, and then you get MIDI capability and USB MIDI. So that's really cool. Anyway, let's just get into it and why I really like this sound. Also, I should say that I have a RE202 coming soon. I wanted another tape delay, but I didn't want one of the Strymon ones because I wanted something that has true stereo through, and the DIG is true stereo as well, and the RE202 is as well. I didn't know if I said 201 or 202. Anyway, the 202 does have stereo through, so at least I think I remember it having that, so I hope it does. So we have a patch here. It's this patch that I made that kind of glitches out with the oscillator syncing and some cross mod. I will probably make a video in the future on how to make that. I think it sounds absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, you get the idea. Sounds really good. That is completely mono, and I have a digital version of it. So yeah, we can test the stereo-ness of the pedal. So let's just go. By default, this ships in a, I should say like a mono mode. Obviously the modulation will add a stereo spread to it, but by default it's set in series, and you just get a long delay line, and you don't really, and it's not really a long delay line. It's more just you get a 2 delay taps, and it's in mono. We'll hear that really quick. We can add the second delay tap, and we don't get any stereo yet. We can set the subdivision of the second one to whatever. This is a subdivision based on the second or the first knob here. Sounds okay, right? And then we can add modulation, which will add a stereo field. Whoops, wrong note. But yeah, it sounds pretty good. I have a little bit of tone control roll off there. Let's put it in the center so we don't. We turn the mod on off again. And let's go ahead and just do the first delay line so we can really hear what's happening. Right? Okay, so now we can test the stereo-ness of it. So let's do this. You can hear their stereo happening. Let's go fully wet, and you should hear that stereo spread still. So yeah, there is a full stereo spread. It has basically 2 delay lines that are fully stereo. And that is absolutely wonderful, something that I wanted for a specific case. I'm not so mad if the reverb sums to mono, because it's going to add a stereo field of its own. It kind of gives a cool effect to it. But I want my delay line to at least be fully stereo through. And I'll make a video about that maybe in the future, why I like that. But here we are. So fully stereo. And here I went back into my mono version. So yeah, really nice, and just a nice sounding delay in general, but that's not where the magic happens. The magic happens when you switch this into ping pong mode, and then you add some like tone shaping and high repeats, and you change some of the settings. So let's do that. To do it, you hold down the on switch, keep holding it. What's going to happen is both of the LEDs will flash like that, and then mix 2 becomes your control for the routing. So let's turn it into the middle. The light will turn amber here. I hope you can kind of see it. It's amber now. It's in the middle for mix 2, and now we're in ping pong mode. Then you just press the bypass button. Now we're back into the standard delay. Let's go ahead and turn both of the mixes. This is 50-50. You got to be aware of that. All the way over to this side, right around 3 o'clock is 50-50. Unfortunately, it's not noon. There we go. Now we have ping pong. No modulations on, so here. Yeah, I think it sounds absolutely gorgeous. And one thing we have is we have subdivisions for the second control here. As you see here, you can kind of make it out here, but we have it on, there's a little symbol that says it's like phi. So it means that it's in golden ratio mode. That means the second tap is in golden ratio. It should never overlap exactly with the first tap in that mode. It adds this beautiful ambient washiness to it. But you have different subdivisions for your second based on what you have your first delay set for. So you can kind of have like the way you want to set some rhythm. I mean, we can turn down the delay. Let's go through the settings really quick. So this is very subtle on some of these, but so we have this all the way set to 9624. I like to have it in the 12-bit, or we're actually set to 12-bit. I couldn't see that. So it sounds gorgeous, but then we have the ADM mode. The 12-bit mode is more of like your old Boss or Roland rack delays from the 80s, like the SDD, or is it it's the SDD like 2000 and 3000. ADM is more like your TC Electronics TC 2290 delay, and then 2496 is your modern delays. 2496 isn't as boring as you think. It has a little bit of lovely compression in there, and it sounds good too. It has a lot of character. So ADM. Gorgeous. All right, so let's just go back to the 12 mode, and let's make an ambient wash happen. Listen to how that just fades out. Isn't it lovely? Let's use It's an Oberheim since we're going to go into that 80s voicing. Sounds gorgeous. And if I had this set up in a MIDI setup, we could clock sync it to the arpeggiator, but we can just do some tap tempoing. We're going to do that really quick and see what it sounds like with a arpeggiator going. It's going to sound gorgeous. Let's just switch the mode here into a sine. Let's let's turn the clock division down. Let's tap in 85 beats per minute. So let's go here. All right, so let's turn on the ARP. Add a little bit of lovely modulation in there, which adds a stereo field. Well, let's hear that. I don't know if I just demoed that, but let's just hear that. Let's go back to my mono version of this patch here. We are back into series mode. As you can hear, there's no stereo spread. Let's turn on the lovely modulation. But there you have it. So the modulation also adds another bit of stereo-ness to it. Let's go back into ping pong mode. Let's try and tap tempo in 120. Let's see, is that close enough? I mean, no, but it'll work. And obviously, since you have mix control over each of your taps, you can make the second tap a little quieter if you really wanted to. Just something to really add to it. You just have so many controls. It seems like such a simple pedal, but it really isn't if you really break it down. And it sounds gorgeous. It gives you that 80s style sound. It gives you modern style sounds. It has a lot of character for being a digital delay. A lot of people shy away from it. I think it's one of the worst selling Strymon delays at this point, at least what I can see on like Sweetwater and things like that. But it has so much character to it, and I just don't see it used all that much. It's kind of like their slept-on pedal. Yeah, see, that just sounds great. I love it. So, yeah, let's do something else really quick to it. Let's make a really simple pad, and making pads on the Teo-5 is just a dream because you can make such a beautiful sounding pad in just minutes. And let's do that. I can prove that. So let's do this. All right, let's go into program. What we're going to do is we're going to turn up the voice volume to about 105. Let's turn it up just a little more. We're going to also go ahead and find where it has the envelope retrigger. We want to turn that on. Yeah. That'll make the envelope retrigger every time you press a key. That way it doesn't kind of legato things out. All right, let's turn the cutoff down. Let's use the envelope here. Add some release. Let's add a bunch of resonance. Let's add some attack. And we're not going to add any stereo spread whatsoever from the Teo-5. We're just going to use the DIG to do that. All right, let's add a second oscillator. Let's add some detune. That easy. And we can add a sub. We can add a pulse on both of them if we want. That'll make it really loud, so let's go ahead and turn down the volume a little on that one. So let's go here. Let's turn the oscillator volume down to about 104. And let's add some more movement. So let's do destination, pulse width. Let's turn that up. Let's turn the frequency way down. That's going to be dark and moody. Listen to this. All right, so we're going to get out of the tap tempo here. So let's just move our main master mix, or not mix, but delay time, just to make sure we're set on the second time into golden ratio. Let's turn on this, and tone here repeats quite up, and this is just, it's going to blow you away. Again with off. Gorgeous, right? Absolutely stunning. Just the sound, it's there. It has that 80s loveliness to it, and it's not overbearing. It's a good alternative if you don't want the washiness of a reverb, but you still want some washy tones. It's really great for shoegaze. Obviously, put a nice, distortion in front of it and get it going on very high repeats, and then you just get wall of sound. You add a reverb on the back of it or at the end of it, and it sounds even more magical. I'll do a video about that sometime soon. We'll throw the night verb at the end of it, or maybe the Big Sky MX. I kind of like the night verb for moody 80s sounds, and the Big Sky MX more for using the Teo-5 or something along those lines. So yeah, that's why I like the DIG so much, and why I ended up getting another DIG version 2. It's something I couldn't replace. I should state, I don't know if I've stated it already, but I did end up getting rid of the timeline. I returned it. The timeline is nice and it sounds great, but it is definitely aged by this point, and I hope that they come out with something new like a Timeline MX, and I don't want to really deal with that right now. And I was really only using the timeline for the dual delay anyway, and this gives me that plus all the voicing modes that you can't do on the timeline. You can get close, but it doesn't sound quite right. There's no little bit of compression on 2496. It doesn't have that grit of the 12-bit. It doesn't have the overall brightness of the ADM mode, which is like a 1-bit delay mode with a high sample rate. It's like 1 megahertz or something like that. I don't remember what it is. It's like, I think it starts at 250 kilohertz or something, and then it goes up to a megahertz depending on how the TC2290 worked. It's interesting. It's a very interesting delay if you look into it. But yeah, that said, it sounds gorgeous, and I just really like it. And hopefully in my next video, you'll see the RE202. I'll be pairing that potentially with the Teo-5. I did not like the RE2, which is the smaller version of the RE202, because there's no saturation control. And the saturation control really helps with making bolder echoes come out of it. And I didn't want to get something like the Volante or El Capistan again, because those aren't truly stereo through, where I think the RE202, don't hold me to that, but I think it is, because the pedal definitely was. So yeah, this is also full stereo as we saw earlier. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this kind of got some ideas flowing for using a digital delay, even if it's not this one, for how much like good sounds you can get from just a digital delay. When people like cast aside, oh, it's a digital delay, but no, they can have their own character too. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to me and you like my content, how about you go ahead and subscribe? And I will see you next time. Bye.